Just going to take you through showing you how the new queue system is working. Now if you go to the shows menu, the new shows menu, you will see we have another section here called queues, and each queue system is saved with a show. So queues are saved on their own, and then you can have different queues with shows, which means if you change a snapshot, you still have all your queues available to you. And that's great because it means that you might want to change an EQ system for a mix, but still remain with all your mutes and all your level changes, and the queues will still remain for each snapshot. So basically, what does a queue save? I've got three screens set up here. I've got auxiliaries on this screen, I've got the show menu on this screen, I've got the main mixer here. So three web browsers open into my Ui24. Now we can do things like mutes, pans, levels, or any type of level. So it can be the levels of the FX sends, the levels of the aux sends, matrix sends, all the type of levels, mutes and pans are all saved in queues, and that becomes very, very fast to change. They're also automatically assigned if you go into your settings page, into your local. So F1, F2 keys can be assigned to next queue and previous queue. Now F1, F2 keys are always mapped to Z and X on your keyboard, whether it's a connected keyboard to the UI directly or a keyboard on your PC, Mac. So that makes it very quick to change, especially if you're doing a theater show and you want to change. So I'll just show you. I'm going to that's X. I'm going through these four queues. So they'll be going in basically in a circular fashion. So once I ended up with 4, it goes back to 1. And it's instantaneous, so there's no audio dropouts, there's no clicks, there's no pops. It's absolutely instantaneous. As you can see, some of my changes had also auxiliary level changes. Now if you, for example, got to a queue, and it can be a name or a number, I just put numbers there, and you wanted to change the queue a little bit, so you could change it a little bit, you can go into your show menu and you can select that queue again and save over it. So replace snapshot as well. Okay, so that updates the whole system, updates the snapshot and update the queue in that situation. If, for example, I wanted to make an EQ change, okay, so let's say we wanted some EQ changes on this, a little bit radical, but that's okay, that doesn't matter. Some EQ changes, we could then save that as a new snapshot, for example. So I can click on save. So I call this test Q2, enter that, and that's saved. But my cues, you can see now I've got a Q curve. My cues will still remain the same, and either double click on it or go up and down, and the other section that I can go to. Now, there you go. Can you see that it didn't load? Why? Because I'm clicked on this browser. So if you're selecting a different browser and your F1, F2 keys on this particular browser are set for play and record, so obviously now I'm controlling play and record with the Z and X key, so you need to be aware of that. If I go back to this client, now my cues will go up and down with the Z and X keys. A little gotcha there that you need to worry about if you have multiple clients open. As you can see, the EQ curve now will remain, but all my cues, level, mutes, pans will all change as I did before. I'll go back to my shows menu here so you can see that on the screen how basically it changes as I'm loading the cues without any audio interruptions whatsoever to the system.